Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I'm the senior minister here at the Oasis, and I always like to introduce the team that God has provided me because it's an amazing team. Let me start out first with my faithful assistant, Faith, who's basically been my assistant since the day she was born, really. She was actually her dad's assistant at first. She came to church when she was 3 weeks old, and her dad would hold her in one hand and operate the soundboard with the other hand. Excuse me. And then when she was able to crawl, she crawled right up on the stage, and I left her there because I could step over her, and she just seemed like she belonged there, right? And so at the end of the service, I would always put her on the podium to do announcements with me, and so she just fell right into being my assistant. They used to live about 6 blocks from my house, and her dad was a tow truck driver, and he would go on these out of town tows and drop the girls at my house. And I have a project house. I always have something going on. If it isn't filing, it's, house projects, or, I don't know how many times you've power washed my porch. But when she was 14 and a half years old, she said, I want a real job. She was being a nanny or a caregiver for this one family. And so I said, okay, great. And I hired her for my ozone business. And she was the best assistant I had there out of the 3. And then during the pandemic, we decided to go live with church. And I said, do you want to be my ministerial assistant? And she said, sure. So here we are 5 years later and still cooking. And so she is the woman behind the curtain, like in the Wizard of Oz, where there's a man behind the curtain, and it's Faith here. When we're in a facility, I can look out and see the shining faces beaming back at me. Here I get a number. I don't even get names, so I don't even know who's watching. Excuse me. So we ask people to say hi, good morning, hello, just so I know who's here. And so when you do that, this will be the one that answers as me. And, she knows me better than I know myself most of the time. So I've only had to go back maybe twice in 5 years and answer questions that perhaps she didn't address. And so, sorry, I'm still trying to work with my back here. And so, excuse me, she's also our soloist. So today she's going to sing Use Me by the Agape Choir, and we will be doing visioning today. So yay. I know. I love it when we do visioning. Thank you for being here, Faith. I couldn't do this without you. Love you. And then there's my partner in crime, the wise and powerful Oz. And he and I have been the old man behind the curtain or in front of the curtain. Yeah. There you go. Right. But Oz has been with me since 1998. And he was my first baby practitioner. And then he was my board president for many years. And then he moved away to Florida, and we lost the ability to have him in the service. So when we started doing live for the pandemic, I asked him if he wanted to be practitioner of the day. Little did either one of us know that 5 years later he would still be doing practitioner of the day almost every week. So, oh my goodness. And what that entails is he does the invocation, the benediction, and then is available for a 1-minute miracle at the end. And I'll go into details about that when I do the announcements, but I couldn't do this without you. So thank you, Oz, so much. I love you. All right. There is a watch party button that you can press on and invite all your friends so they can see what kind of service they can expect on a Sunday morning. And it's also a way where you can answer their questions because you can chat with them and it's private. You won't bother anybody else. All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, I do want to introduce our adjunct music team. 2 of them do not appear on camera, but they are providing music for us so that we can have an actual Sunday service that includes music. So the first of those is Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver, who was the first to ask us to use her music in the service. The second is Karen Drucker, who gifted us with her entire collection of CDs. We got karaoke files and songbooks and everything so that we could do the music in the service. So I want to thank those ladies and put a shout out to them. And then we have Albertina Giuffre, who was our singer from 2000 till 2021 sometime, when she decided she needed to get her house ready for sale, and is enjoying the freedom of being retired. However, she does come back for what she calls the crying season, which is Mother's Day, Father's Day, and Memorial Day. And then we also have her during our Christmas series on Advent. So I always like to include all of them because that is the team, the dream team, as they say. All right, right now I'd like to invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
The presence of God is always right here, right now. For God, as we conceive of it, is in all things, as all things, encompassing all things, creating all things, and living all things through them, through each and every one of us. God is having activity and action and creating in, through, and around all of us right here, right now. And I know that God's presence has a grander view of things than we can see from our own little 3D space here. And that when we do visioning today, we allow that greater input to come into our lives, into our consciousness, and uplift and inspire us into the next steps. We know that good things can happen through this, for only good things can happen through God. And we know that this is good and very good. And we relax and let it be so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. This next song is one of Reverend Fairy Lane Silver's that she wrote while she was in practitioner training. And it's a really good way for us to remember how connected we all are. So here we go.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For enter to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one, we are all one, we are all one in it. Yes, we are all one, we are all one, we are all one in it.
Yes, we are all one in it. If you like something that you hear, whether that's something I say or Faith sings or Oz prays, use that like button. If you love something, send us love. We love to get love. Send the hearts. And if something strikes you as powerful, by all means, use that wow button, because it gives me perfect feedback so that I know when I'm on track. And if you are just joining us, we ask that you say hi, hello, good morning. Because in a facility, I can look out and see if the face is shining back at me. Here, I don't. I just get a number. I don't even get names, so I don't know who's here. So please do that for us. If you're stopping by later, of course, just do a heart or say hi or just stop by or whatever, however you want to let us know. But it's nice to know when we have so many people that join us from other countries later on, that I like to know who came by, who stopped by to say hi, as it were. All right, without further ado, here is Faith singing Use Me by the Agape Choir.
Use me, oh God, I stand before you, and here I as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God is the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth and the stars and all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine His light as me, as you. So use me, oh God. I stand before you, and here am I, as you show me all that I must do. All I can do is command my hands. What must they do? Command my life. It's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine His light as me, as you. So use me, oh God. I stand before you, and here am I, as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Thank you so much, Faith. I love it when we do that song. I just, I don't sing along with all of it, but I sing along with this one. Thank you very much. Nobody really wants to hear me sing, so we just don't do that. But usually I don't sing along too much because I try to save my voice for speaking, you know. But today I did sing along. I love the Use Me song. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about visioning real quick because I know a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that visioning and visualization are the same thing, and they're not. Visualization is when I have a goal in mind that I want to see, hear, feel, know, and I focus all of my attention on that goal. So it's a proactive thing that I'm doing. Visioning is not an act, it's an inactive thing. Not that you're not doing anything, but you are asking, it's more receptive. You're asking for the God within you to show you its vision for your life, right? Now, visioning's been around a long time in a lot of faiths, but our process that we use was pretty much formulated, let's put it that way, by, I can't think of his name. That's crazy. Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith of the Agape Church. I think it's called the Agape Center for International something Truth, I think it is. And they're in some part of LA now. They used to be somewhere else, and now I can't ever keep track of where they moved to. But he's one of the biggest churches in our movement and was part of our church association for many, many years. And he actually withdrew because he joined the New Thought Network, and he's doing some work with all these other organizations, I should say, the Dalai Lama and some of these other organizations. For instance, I joined Gaia. I don't know if you've seen that on the apps that are advertised on Facebook and like in your games and whatever. But I finally joined it, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that he is one of the people that is speaking in some of the videos. Because I really admire him in a lot of ways. He built a church from nothing to like 10,000 people within, I don't know, a year, or 40,000 or something like that, which is pretty impressive. And he really took everything that we teach to another level. He was involved in several projects like What the Bleep Do I Know? And, you know, all of those that came out in I think it was like the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. But he participated in all of those kind of projects. And he's gotten really involved in, like I said, with the Dalai Lama and, you know, Gaia and some of these other things. Because he is so good at talking about spirituality and visioning in particular. He perfected this process for us. And he has this idea that there are 4 ways, 4 steps to spirituality, for example. The first stage is to us, and that is the victim, so to speak, stage, where we think everything's done to us, where God does things to us. That's the stage at which we ask God to do something for us. That is the stage where we believe that God is a 911 rescue God. That is the stage at which we don't understand that our thoughts create our reality. We just think that everything is done to us. And it's an important stage because we were raised that way. That's the religions, the major religions all teach that. And so at that point, we're asking and beseeching God instead of claiming our power. But that's where we come from. The next stage is to it, and that's the manipulation stage, really, and not in a bad way. I mean, you need to learn how to affect your reality. But in the to it stage, we recognize that we can affect God, right? That when we learn to use the spiritual principles, we can actually use the spiritual laws consciously to manifest, to change our reality, that kind of thing. The third stage is through us, and that's where we know that God can only do for us what it can do through us. In other words, if I haven't developed love, self-love to the point where I know that I am love, then it's very difficult to use the spiritual laws to attract love to ourselves, right? And so we want to understand that God is moving through us, creating that reality for us, and our job really is to become love. For instance, prosperity. If I have a lot of doubts and fears about prosperity and I don't think it's possible for me, it's very difficult for me to experience prosperity, to vibrate at the frequency of God. And so at that point, we recognize that God can only do for us what it can do through us, meaning that we have become a vessel through which that manifestation can come, right? And so the fourth stage, the last stage really, is as us, where we recognize that that's our nature, that God is what we're made of, and that God doesn't act independently of us. God acts as us. Like we are agents in the world for God's love. And so the love of God flows through us to other people. The prosperity of God flows through us to create a better financial reality. The divine blueprint of DNA, made of God's stuff, flows through us. And that is how we return back to the blueprint. Our bodies return back to the blueprint of DNA that is in God, right? So that last stage is as us. So today we're going to be, we do visioning at the end of each quarter. And so we are going to be visioning now for this coming quarter, which is the third quarter of 2025. Can you believe it's already the third quarter of 2025? I mean, we've just been through, oh no, it's the second quarter, isn't it? It's the second quarter. Oh, no wonder. I'm really confused. Okay. So anyway, we're going to be visioning now for the next quarter so that we can figure out, so we can get what God's vision is, God within us again. God's vision is for us in this next quarter. Now, a little note about how we receive information, because it becomes really important when you're doing visioning. Because you're being receptive, it works through what your gift order is. For instance, I'm kinesthetic, meaning that I get feelings before I get anything else. And that is how I interpret my world. That's how I learn. That's how I walk into a situation and I receive information first by feeling. It's not like I hear something or see something. I have to use those other gifts to perhaps interpret what I'm feeling. Okay. Then there's audience. Faith is very audient. So she learns best by hearing things, hearing information. We went to, in Costa Rica, we went to the Medical Ozone Without Borders conference, and I drove her crazy because she wanted to listen to the speakers and what they were saying. And I would get these ahas and I'd say, oh my God, that's why I did it. And she'd be like, okay, I'm trying to listen. Because she learns that way. So of course, a lot of times when she does visioning, she gets the information that way. And that's how her brain works. And then there's visual, which means you see things, you see pictures, you see images. Okay. And like when I was in the school of ministry, I had this one teacher, for example, I would tape all the classes because it was easier for me to, because things occur to me while I'm hearing stuff and I get sidetracked by it. And so instead of taking time to write it down and then missing something, I would record them. And, during the week, I would transcribe all the information. And most of the classes, I would get 16, 17 pages for a 3-hour class. We had this one instructor who spoke so fast. She was an instructor at DU too. But she spoke so fast that no matter what, I couldn't grasp what she was saying, because she'd say something and I'd be like thinking it through in my head, and then I'd pop up and she'd be on a totally different topic. I used to get 29 pages out of 3 hours with her, and her tests were all word for word what she said. So what I realized is that when I combine the audience and the visual of her talking and typing it and seeing it on the screen, so I get my kinesthetic hit, then I learned a lot easier. And so that's how I learned to cope with, I am a kinesthetic, intuitive, visual, and audience is way low down there. And then, of course, intuitive is just knowing that you know, but you don't know how you know, right? It's not like you get words that you hear. It's not that you see something and remember it. It's not that you feel something and you're able to interpret that. It's just a knowingness that you don't know where it comes from. And the reason I bring that up is because when we're asking these questions during the visioning, you need to be aware of how you're getting the information and not judge that. We're going to honor ourselves for however that information comes into us, because that's our learning style. That's our gift order that we receive information through. Okay. And I'm going to ask 3 questions. Well, actually 4, but 3 major questions. The first one is, what is God's vision for my life in this second quarter of 2025? Again, we're not asking someone out there. We are asking something that is in and through us and all around us. Okay. But we only get this much information about our world, where God sees the whole picture. And so what we're asking is that being within us that we're made of to show us what it sees or feels or hears or knows, right? What is God's vision for my life in the second quarter of 2025? And then, what must I become in order to be the vessel through which that vision manifests through me? Remember, I said, God can only do for us what it can do through us, and we must be a vessel capable of receiving that. And what that means is that we already have to have the consciousness to receive that. So what spiritual principle must I embody in order to become the vessel through which that vision manifests through me, right? The third one is, what must I release in order to become that vessel through which God's vision can manifest? And that could be forgiveness. That could be releasing a person, a place, a thing. It could be releasing doubts or fears or belief systems. Only God within you knows what that is. What is it that I must release in order to become that vessel through which God's vision manifests? And so in a moment, I'm going to do a quick meditation, and then we'll get right into the visioning. So we're ready, Mr. Music, Miss Music. So I'd like you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And begin to focus your awareness on your breath. I want you to take in a deep breath through your nose. In. Hold it for a second and release through the mouth. I want you to take another big deep breath in that comes all the way from your belly. In. Hold it for a moment and release. We're going to take one more big deep breath, and we're really going to pull it into the belly, expanding our belly as we breathe in. So in and out forcefully through the mouth, emptying the belly of air. As we've been focused on the breath and as we've been doing this breathing, it allows our body to totally relax, to be in the present moment. Anything that wants to come up and interrupt us, we can always handle later. So just allow it to pass through. Because in this moment, we want to be fully present so that we can experience the unconditional love of God. So right now, imagine that in front of you is this big, pulsating, beautiful ball of light. Notice that the pulsation matches your breath and your heartbeat. They all merge into one. Just let it be there, pulsating and vibrating with a beautiful white light. And notice that with each pulsation that you experience, it grows bigger and bigger until you find yourself in the middle of it. Notice that it envelops you. And as it grows, it envelops not only you, but everyone in the household and the entire house. And then it pulsates again and encompasses your neighborhood. Imagine that it grows again and it encompasses your whole town or city. There are no individual neighborhoods any longer. It's only that one big pulsating ball of light. Matching your breath, matching your heartbeat, matching your life force. Now imagine it grows again and encompasses your county. So there are no individual towns or cities or areas. There's only one big ball of light. And as it pulsates, it grows again and encompasses the entire state or province. There are no individual counties any longer, just that one big pulsating light. And everything is drawn into it, becomes one in it. It grows again, and you notice that it is encompassing your entire country. There are no individual states or provinces. Now it's just one big ball of light. pulsating at the frequency of our breath, matching our heartbeat. And then it grows again and encompasses the entire earth. And all of a sudden we notice that everyone on earth is now breathing, and their heartbeat is matching the vibration of this pulsating ball of light. For that is simply all there is. And then it expands one more time to include the entire galaxy, the universe. And we realize that we are singing one song. And the beat of that song is the heartbeat of the earth, and our heartbeat that matches the pulsating vibration of this ball of light. And all of this is all encompassed into one as we become aware that this big ball of light is like a healing balm that we offer to ourselves and the world. That we take what we need out of it and we offer it to the world. For each person that wants to take something from this big ball of light to heal whatever their condition they're experiencing, now has access to that. Just revel in the feeling of knowing how connected everyone is. We are all one in this ball of light, as we are in this body of God. And we recognize that what we are feeling is the unconditional love of God right here, right now. Just enjoy the experience for a moment. And now, as if there is a beam that appears for us to take our consciousness back to our home, back to wherever we're watching from. We travel that beam down, taking that unconditional love in our heart with us. That experience of unconditional love cannot leave us. It is here with us. And as we enter into whatever space we are watching from, we stay in that beautiful place of unconditional love, that consciousness of love. We stay in a meditative state as we ask this very important question of God within us. What is God's vision for my life in the second quarter of 2025? Notice that it may come as a picture, a word, a sound, a feeling. Honor however that comes in. What is God's vision for my life in the second quarter of 2025? Now, placing the answer in your spiritual pocket for retrieval later, ask yourself the second question, which is, what must I become in order to be the vessel through which that vision manifests through me? What spiritual principle must I embody in order to be that perfect vessel through which the vision can manifest? Breathe in, breathe out. Allow that answer to just flow to you in whatever way it needs. What must I become in order to be that vessel through which God's vision manifests through me? Don't force the answer, just let it come. Now take the answer and put it in your spiritual pocket to be retrieved later. While we ask that third question, what must I release in order to become that perfect vessel through which God's vision manifests? Do I need to forgive something, someone? Do I need to release something or someone? Do I need to let go of certain beliefs or thoughts that I have? What must I release in order to become that perfect vessel through which God's vision manifests through me? Notice if you have any resistance to this question or the answer to this question, and release that right now. That's the process here. That what you are being told is to release something or someone. What must I release in order to become that perfect butterfly in God's vision? To exit out of the cocoon and flap our wings for the first time. What must I release in order to be that perfect vessel through which God's vision manifests? Now place that answer in your spiritual pocket to be retrieved later on. As we ask ourselves this one question, what else do I need to know about this? Maybe it's a next step. Maybe it's something that's been hidden by us. What do I need to know? What else do I need to know? What else do I need to take with me today to accomplish this manifestation of God's vision through my life? Return your awareness now to your breath, in and out. Begin to feel your fingers and your toes. Become aware of the feeling in your fingers and your toes and wiggle them. And bring your awareness back into the room. Open your eyes and become fully present. Oh, goodness. It's always so hard for me to come back, even though I don't get answers when I do it because I'm the one leading it. But it's always so hard to come back from the experience of that because I go so deep. Okay. I'm going to, before I pray us out, I'm going to have a share as much of that as we can. So in the comments section, if you feel comfortable with that, please give me the answers to all of those questions, not because I need to hear them or see them, but because we're going to cement them in by talking about it, so to speak. If I verbalize what I've experienced, it sticks with me a lot better. So if you feel comfortable, put it in the comments section. If you don't feel comfortable, you can always write it down. Let me give it just 1 minute here. And then I'm going to pray us out of that. Okay. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Right now, I tune my awareness to the infinite power, the infinite presence, the infinite life, the power and presence of God here and now. And that is where I find myself in the midst of God, my very essence, my very life, my very being. It is who and what I am, and every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that ancient wisdom of the ages that flows through all. I know that same truth to be so for this team that God has provided me, for Faith and for Oz and for Tina and for Karen and for Elaine. For we are all one in it. And that same essence of God, that same wisdom of the ages flows through all, providing guidance and inspiration. And so we are led to that which ought to be done by us. I know the same truth to be so for every person watching, whether that's in real time or later on. Because I know that same essence of God flows through all, is all. I know that that same wisdom of the ages that flows through everything flows through him as well. Mitakuyasin, we are all my brethren. We are all related. So I bless this coming week with an awareness of the vision that we have received, the spiritual principle we must embody to become the vessel through which it does manifest, and what I must release, or what we must release in order to become that vessel, and any further steps as well. We become totally aware of how that process is working in our lives. And I bless the coming week with beautiful manifestations of that vision through our life. My heart just fills with gratitude right now for everything that we have received today. All of the information, all the wisdom, all the knowledge, all of it. I accept it and receive it in the names of everyone here as good and very, very good. And it fills my heart with gratitude to be of service in this way, to know that it is so. And so I just let it be. And so it is. Amen. Oh my. Whew.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world.
Thank you, Faith. That really helps me get background until I can talk. Oh, goodness. Now is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to share the gratitude for that which you have experienced in the physical realm, or perhaps something you have not yet experienced in the physical realm, but have created in the mind of God, and we're sharing gratitude for it being there. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to go to www.oasiscsl.org, and about 2/3 down the page is our offering affirmation, and then underneath that is our Contribute Now button. So let me speak real briefly about what contributing to our organization means. We have a vision of a healed world, and that's global, right? And our vision is healing the world one person at a time, again, globally. Unfortunately, it takes money to do that. So if we're in a facility, we have rent and utilities and all of those other things that the contributions pay for. But right now, what we have is an assistant who works very, very hard that we reimburse her for her time, and we market to the world. And so when you contribute, you are supporting our vision to get to our mission to get to our vision. Sorry. So go with me now, whether you're watching in real time or later on. Please go with me now to www.oasiscsl.org and say this offering affirmation with me. This perfect gift is spirit and form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive, and so it is. Hit that Contribute Now button and help us with our mission to get to our vision. All right. We have this wonderful team of licensed practitioners from coast to coast who serve our church in 3 different ways. One is if you have a prayer request, put it in the comment section. Our licensed practitioners, which I like to call our God Squad because of an image I had back in 1998 of them marching in and taking charge. Anyway, if you want prayer for something, put it in the comment section. They will pray every day on those requests for a week. If you don't want it to be public, you can DM Faith, and she will make sure the God Squad gets those prayer requests. The second way is by providing spiritual guidance for a fee by appointment. And so you will reach out to Oz. He's the only one currently that is serving that way. Reach out to Oz through his Facebook Messenger and let him know you would like spiritual guidance, like to make an appointment for spiritual guidance. He'll let you know how to pay for it. I don't get involved in that. Practitioners have their own business, so they're free to use PayPal, Wise, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, whatever form of payment they use. So you will ask Oz how to pay for it. He will let you know, and then he will reach out by video chat at your appointed time. Okay, and then the third way that practitioners serve is what Oz has been doing the last 5 years, and that is he does the invocation, the benediction, and then he's available for what we call a 1-minute miracle. It is not a time for counseling, but it is a time where you can share with him whatever you're experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. All right, we have these lovely ladies from Brooks and Bailey that make jewelry, and their jewelry is really awesome. I have one bracelet that they gifted me with 5 years ago, and I've only dropped it off my wrist twice. That's incredible for me because I'm forever losing jewelry off my wrist, and so that one has stayed on my wrist. All right. All the proceeds go to Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue, which I think is a really worthy cause. And you can reach them either at brooksandbailey0307@gmail or on their Facebook page, which I try to repost anytime they have a booth at an event. But the one thing that I like to focus on in their jewelry line is their mala bead necklaces, because the Buddhists and the Hindus use it for their chants. They move one bead at a time and they do their chant. Okay. So I think there's 108 beads on the necklace. I think that's a perfect way to get your 100 affirmations in a day by using it the same way. And there's 108 beads on the necklace and 54 on the bracelets. So you can do the bracelets twice a day. So anyway, this one is amethyst. It's $60, but they have all kinds of gemstones from $30 and up for the necklaces. And I think it's like $15 to $25 for the bracelets, if I remember correctly. So definitely check these ladies out. I think you'll be very happy with the quality and the price. All right. So the other thing is we like to support those who support us. So right on the screen, you will see the website for Reverend Fairy Lane Silver. She doesn't, for some reason, she can't update her website to show how to pay for it. So you have to reach out to her by email to find out how to pay for it. She travels around the country singing and playing guitar. So she has those CDs in the trunk of her car. So once it's paid for, she sends them out right away, and she's really good at getting them out the door immediately. The other one is Karen Drucker, who her website does work. You can buy it by the song, by the CD, karaoke file, songbook. Some of the songs have American Sign Language, in case you want to learn how to sign something. So definitely buy something from these two ladies. They make really good gifts, and for yourself or anyone else. And Faith and I particularly like the Songs of Spirit series. There's Songs of Spirit 2, 3, and 4, because they have chants on them that are really easy for you to start your day with or get stuck in your head for the day. Real powerful stuff. All right. Check out our website at www.oasiscsl.org. There you're going to find pictures of events we've had so you can get to know your spiritual family. We know it's hopelessly out of date. We're working on it. That's all I can say. In the meantime, you can get the video sermons off of YouTube and the audio sermons from the years prior off of SoundCloud, and it's all under S. Tucker. FYI, Facebook has told me unless I download all of the sermons we've done for the last 5 years, they are just going to disappear. So I'm in the process of downloading all of those so that I have them for whatever purpose later on. But they won't be appearing on Facebook anymore. I think it's like they're going to save 30 days worth or something like that, and then they're going to keep deleting the ones that are more than 30 days old. I've got until 2 days from now to get that completed. So keep checking us out at www.oasiscsl.org for further developments. I'm going to turn this over to Oz right now.
I know right here, right now, that God's vision is unfolding all around us and through us all at the same time. For God is manifesting abundance and prosperity and health and all good things in us and all around us. I give thanks for these blessings and I allow them to unfold. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you all for being here. I know there's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning, and we were blessed to have you here with us. Join us every week, particularly next week. Was it next week? No. We're going to be doing Passover and we're going to be doing Easter, and I can't remember what those dates are. I know that Easter falls on the 12th. Huh?
Easter is 3 weeks out.
3 weeks out. And I think Passover is the week before that, so that's 2 weeks out. So I'm still trying to come up with what we're going to do next week. But anyway, join us every week at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, USA time. We will see you there. In the meantime, stay safe. We love you. Bye.